Mohamed Salah was a topic of discussion for Jamie Carragher and co after Liverpool won Newcastle 2-0. And Mohamed Salah got an assist, a good contribution once again in that match. And Jamie Carragher went on to make some disrespectful statements about the Afcon. According to him, he said, Mohamed Salah was at a disadvantage playing for Egypt and also participating in the Afcon. That even though he plays in the Afcon and wins the MVP, that it will not boost his chances of winning the FIFA the Best or the Ballon d'Or. That the likes of Mbappe and the rest playing in Europe, participating in tournaments like the Euros, or even players in South America participating in Copa America will have a better chance than him, in those awards. And he said the Afcon is not a major tournament. And I was like, if you consider the Euros and the Copa America, as major tournaments, then why not the Afcon? The Afcon is as well a continental trophy, just like the Euros and the Copa America. So why discrediting a continental trophy? If you place Euros and the Copa America, on the same level, then the Afcon and even the Asian trophy, the CONCACAF, should also be on the same level, because they are equally continental trophies. And that statement did not sit well with us Africans. That was a huge disrespect to us. But then, evaluating these statements from a different perspective, you will somehow agree with Jamie Carragher, because the value that the Afcon has compared to the Euros and the Copa America, this past years, is not the same. Not the same. Now, coming down to we, the Africans, the owners of the continental trophy, the owners of that competition, how much value do we place on Afcon? That is the question we are supposed to ask ourselves. How much value do we place on the Afcon? I looked at the South American Player of the Year awards, and I was like, there's something common between the South American Player of the Year awards and that of the European Player of the Year awards. That's the UEFA the Best. Now, what is common? What is common is that the winners of the South American Player of the Year awards are players that play in their leagues, in a league in South American soil. No player outside South American soil wins that South American Player of the Year awards. No player. You have to be a player in one of the clubs in South America, either Santos, Boca Juniors, and the rest. You have to be a player. You have to be participating in their league. Carlos Tevez has won it playing for Boca Juniors. Neymar has won it playing for Santos. Diho as well has also won it. And during the seasons they won it, they played for a South American club. They played for South American clubs. Now, while they were playing in Europe, they never won any South American Player of the Year award. They never won it. Despite the performances that these players has put up in Europe, all those years, they had no business with the South American Player of the Year awards. They were not favored. They were not honored with those awards. It was always given to players that played in the South American soil. The same goes to the UEFA the Best. You have to be participating in a club in Europe. You have to be participating in a club in Europe for you to be eligible to win that award. And then you have to do it in the UCL or in the Euros for you to be considered, as one of the nominees for the awards. Now, the common thing is that for you to win the UEFA the Best or the South American Player of the Year awards, you have to be playing in their leagues. You have to be playing in their leagues. Now, coming down to the African Best Player awards, it is not the same. It is not the same. Now you see the likes of Ademola Lookman playing for Atlanta, winning the CAF awards. You see players playing in Europe, winning the CAF awards. Whereas we have our own league. We have leagues in Africa. We have the CAF Champions Leagues. We have every other leagues in Africa. And there are players playing in these leagues, doing so well, winning these trophies, winning the MVPs of these trophies. But they are not considered. Now we have the CAF Champions League and we have the Afcon. Just like in Europe, we have the UCL and we have the Euros. When you do well in these two competitions or one of these competitions, you are going to be considered for this trophy, for this award. Now the same should have been applied to the CAF awards. If you do well in the CAF Champions League or in the Afcon, you should be considered for the CAF awards, the Player of the Year awards. But no, what happens? Players in Europe, doing so well for themselves in Europe, are considered for this same award. So if you look at it, we do not place so much value on our own awards. If players in Africa, players that play in the leagues in Africa, or players that did well in the Afcon cannot win the CAF awards, why then are we expecting the Europeans to respect and value our continental trophy? They shouldn't, because we ourselves don't place so much value on the CAF awards. We don't place value on our continental leagues. We don't place value on our continental competitions. We don't place value on the Afcon, because players that participate in the CAF Champions League, in the leagues in Africa and in Afcon, are supposed to be the ones considered for these awards. But when you look at the list of players that has won this award, they played in Europe. They all played in Europe. Ademola Lookman, Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Yaya Toure, Eto'o, Didier Drogba, name it. They were all playing in Europe. So when you look at this situation from the other side, you will realize that Jamie Carragher was somehow stating the fact. Although he was supposed to set the record straight, these are continental trophies and they were supposed to have the same value, have the same weight. But then we Africans, we don't value our competitions. We don't value the Afcon. We don't value the CAF Champions League. We don't value the leagues in Africa. We do not value anyone. Just the previous Afcon, Trust Ekong was the competition's MVP, but he was not top 3 in the best African player of the year. He was not top 3 in the CAF awards. He was not top 3. So you see that we don't actually value our own continent, the leagues, the competitions we have in our own continent. And you should not expect a European player to place value on what you don't place value on. That is just the fact. But then that was actually a disrespectful statement by Jamie Carragher. These are continental trophies and they should all weigh the same. Thank you.